Hello everyone. In this session, we will try to understand Java arrays. We'll try to understand what is an array and why it is, how it is useful, and okay. So before going into arrays, like before trying to understand what is array, so we will take an example. Okay, we already know like data types and variables. Okay, and we know like a variable A variable keeps only one value. Okay, so this is any variable. If a variable keeps only one value at a time. Okay, suppose we have like uh, types of cars, or if you take any college, there will be departments. Like if you take courses, we can say. So the course courses there will be list of courses like computer science, electronics and electrical engineering, and triple E, IT. So like that, there will be static list of values. Okay, so this is one case, and suppose if you take a company, and in that company, employees. So each employee will have an ID. So, so So in this case, suppose, okay, for example, if you take this one, so this is ID1 means it is an integer, for example. Okay, if you take employee IDs, okay, so if you want to tell the computer or yeah, in the program, if you want to use, suppose there are 5 employees, so for those employees, we want to store, like we want to tell the computer these are the employee IDs and use them in the program if needed. Okay, so uh, in that case, what we can do, int employee1 equal to 1, int employee2 equal to 2, int employee3 equal to 3. So like that, we have to declare all the variables, and yeah, so okay. For example, these are the 5 employees. Now, if we want to print, we have to print one by one at a time. Like, okay, so this is how we can do with the current knowledge. Okay, and suppose, yeah, okay, for example, basic example we are taking. So we have in a company we have 5 employees, and we want to store, like we want to, we know the IDs of the each employee. These are integers, and if you want to print, we have to do like this. So this is, suppose if there are 100 employees, so printing 100, we have to write 100 print statements. Okay, so to avoid that, I mean, not avoid, like this is not so, we know that all the employee IDs are of integer type. So we have a list of values. Those are integers. Okay. So for this special case, like in this scenario, this is a basic way of declaring variable and keeping the value. There is an alternate way to keep, like we can group all the values into one variable. So there will be another type of variable. So we can take employee IDs directly equal to, we can keep like this, these values directly. Okay. And we know it is of a integer type. So if you put like this, okay, it will give error because an simple variable stores only one value. But we are telling like Java has a concept called array. So array will be declared like this, or we can declare same with I think yeah we can check the same in the coding IDE. Okay, for now we are trying to understand like what is the purpose of array and what is the problem it is solving. Okay, so we can declare an array like this. No need to put values at it, like in the beginning. We can declare like variable also. So there will be default value and then like we can assign the value later. So later point we can simply use, this is only for declaration time, like this is default way. But when we reference a variable, this will be like a normal variable. Directly name of the variable we can take and we can give the value. Let's try. We will just try. I will explain how these values are represented in the memory, because we know like memory is in a computer, memory like RAM or hard disk like ROM and RAM. So mainly the program code, like when it is executing, it will keep it in the RAM. So that is divided into multiple like blocks. We like we quantify the memory in a GBs in a computer. So something like this, it is divided and then it has cells. Okay. So each generally a variable will refer to one of the cell basically. Like if it is uh, integer, it is integer like yeah, there will be a specific size for each variable, like each data type. Integer will have 4 bytes and like that. So here emp1 will refer to this cell and the value will go here. So similarly, this main, okay, yeah. So for example, so value 2, here it comes. It's not mandatory like it should allocate continuously. It can allocate wherever it finds it is free. Okay, so we can take employee 3. That might refer to this also. Okay, it's not mandatory to computer to give continuously one by one beside, because it's a dynamic. So some another program, some another tool that also has some variables or like the calculations. So the memory is not strict like you should allocate continuously to this. Okay, like this, the memory allocation happens to the variables. Okay. Okay, that is how the variables and the allocation in the memory that we already know. Just I'm giving one more time so that you will understand better. Now we are talking about the arrays. Okay, well, let's go to the IDE. Now I'll create one more class for arrays. Okay, and I'm just giving a package name also arrays so that we can group multiple programs into this package. Okay, so let's say, so here it is giving error only because it is duplicate variable. Otherwise it is okay. So you can see there is no error. We can declare this way, or this gives error because this can't be done, because we have to do, okay, I think so this is not the right way to do that, because this doesn't, like, this way of declaration, this happens only one time, like at the time of declaration, like while first time declaring a variable, we can use this syntax. Otherwise, we have to use differently. Suppose we are declaring the array with a new keyword, like I will explain what is the use of new and all. For now, you can just think like this is the syntax for declaring an array, and then, okay, suppose, yeah, for now we are declaring an array. And how it is represented in the memory, that we will just check here. Suppose we know like a variable will take one cell, and that will be assigned to that particular yeah, variable. So this cell is just 4 bytes. So it's not an MB, or so it can be 2 GB. The 2 GB will again broken into uh, megabytes, and then yeah, bytes, bits. So there are even lesser representation. So from there, it will take how much that variable can hold. So that much memory it will allocate. Okay. So similarly for array is a special data type, and mainly you can look at here. So this is integer type of array. So that means this array holds only integer values. We can't keep characters or double values or strings. So we can't put other type of values. It can hold only homogeneous type of values. So that means the same type of values. So even you can consider like declare it from here also, you can understand it is integer array. It is a variable name, like array variable name, and this is how it declares. And arrays by default, you should mention the size of the array at the time of declaration, or if you put the values, it will consider how many values it has. That is the size of the variable. Size in the sense what is the length or like number of elements in that array. So that will be the size of array. It's not the actual physical size of the memory, but it is the actual number of elements in the array. Okay, so that is how array declaration works, and we will see now like what is the representation in the memory. So we already talked like, so yeah. So integer takes suppose 4 bytes. Okay. Now we are saying declaring an array with the size 5. That means 5 into 4. It is 20 bytes. So in memory, it will take continuous memory for 20 bytes. Okay, so in this case, total 5 values. You don't worry like it is bigger or small. Okay, so and this entire section will be array data type like employee IDs. So this entire memory cell, like memory section, will be referenced as this variable. Okay, and then to identify each value, so we call it as a sequence number or the index in technical terms or like in programming language, we call it as index and 1, 2, 3. So total 5 indexes. So and in array, the index starts from 0. Okay. Or location to identify the particular value, we need the index or location of the variable, location of the value. Okay. So now employee IDs based on the size or number of elements in that array, the memory is allocated, and for each memory cell, because it is homogeneous, so the size will be equally distributed, and then each cell is like referenced as index or a location. Okay, index or a location, and yeah, in this case, total 5, size 5. So that's why we have 5 locations. So always it is Java convention or like any programming language. If you take arrays, index starts from 0 and it ends like n minus 1 or like based on the length minus 1, because 0 is a 1, 2, 3, 4, like total 5 cells, and then it keeps the values in that particular cell. Like we know this is one value. Okay, okay, maybe I'll keep employee ID as 100. Okay, just to refer difference between uh, the index and the value. So the value can be even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just to avoid the confusion, I'm just keeping employee IDs. Okay, yeah, like this. Suppose I want to get the third value. In that case, we have to use uh, index as 0. Now, okay. Actually, when we declare a array variable with the values, then it will automatically assign the values like this. If you declare only array variable with the size without any values, in that case, we have to add like set the value like this. So this is nothing but assignment operator, and then we are telling like this is we are setting the 100 value to this array for this location. So that means this value we are setting. And then similarly, if you want to set value for, suppose once memory is allocated to an array, this can't be used for any other variable, even though there is no value. For example, this value may not be there. We can declare the size. It's up to like based on the requirement. Like we may not add a value. We will add later. So in that case also, that memory is allocated already for this variable, and we can assign value anytime, like later also. That will always be allowed here, like allowed to allocated to this variable. So similarly, we can, there is no order also, like we are anyway telling the location so that it will simply go and uh, set there. Okay. And also we are just doing a basic print operation. Okay. So same way, like if you want to print in this location value, suppose fourth element. So fourth element means employee IDs of fourth means 3 because always -1 is the, because array starts from 0. So if you want fourth element, you have to give 3. So now just run this code. Okay. It is saying class not found. Okay, that is because I just run as a Java application. Yeah. So you can see we are printing the fourth element. That means third location because it starts from 0. Okay. So fourth element means index 3. So that's why we got the value. So this is very easy understanding also. Instead of putting 100 variables, we can use only one single variable to keep the same type of values. So in this example, we have taken 1, 2, 3 like integers. We can also keep double values or floating like characters. Yeah, we will take another examples in the next session. Yeah, for this session, we understood like how to declare a variable. We can just yeah, comment this and we can enable this and just run this again. This time, what it should print, these are the values. So whatever the indexes that I have explained, these are only the Java compiler or like only the Java compiler or the runtime environment JVM will understand this. Okay. These are internal representation just for understanding, but whatever we are giving here, these are the values, not the indexes. The indexes are internal representation of an array. Okay. So now if you print, what should it return? Just imagine. So we are printing the third index of the value. So when you give in the brackets, that will be the index, that is the internal representation of the value. This is not the value. Okay. So in this case, 3 means 0, 1, 2, 3. So 4 should be printed. Yeah. So it is working fine. Okay. Yeah, that's all for this session. Yeah, we will look at more examples and also since, yeah, more examples and how we can print these values in different way. And also we will take some examples, programs. We will take some programs based on the arrays. Okay.